Egyptian Minister of Foreign Affairs, Badr Abdulati. He is not just a colleague, but he is also a brother, and we have worked and collaborated very closely during our time in Germany as ambassadors. So I'm very happy to receive him. Marhaba, you're very welcome. And of course, as has been mentioned, he is also accompanied by Dr. Khalid Al-Anani, also former minister. You're welcome. Happy to have you here. And of course, the Egyptian ambassador to Nigeria, who we're very familiar with, and other senior members of the delegation. On our side, we have the permanent secretary of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs. We have senior directors here. And it's important to note that this is a continuation of the discourse and dialogue, very productive discourse and dialogue that has been going on and is yielding fruit, because we have the comprehensive partnership that we launched between Nigeria and Egypt. So it is an elevation of our relationship, and it is also part of the initiative that the two countries are working on to strengthen ties, importantly to improve on our trade, because our relationship goes back many decades. In fact, it goes back to Nigeria's independence. We have instructions from our two leaders, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and President Fattah al-Sisi of Egypt, to ensure that we improve the relations and that we work closely together, because we share a lot in common. Nigeria and Egypt constitute 1/4 of the population of the continent. So this is something that is very much needed. We also share space in several organizations, such as the D8, the Developing 8, and of course, Organization of Islamic Conference, and several other platforms where we have been working closely together. But we can even achieve much more. So this, of course, is the first segment of the engagement that we're going to have over the period that the Egyptian delegation is here. We are going to have a very robust business forum as well. The minister is leading a delegation of very important businesses from Egypt that are ready, willing, and able to engage. We have equally prepared a very important private sector counterparts to engage with them, as well as the relevant government ministries, departments, and agencies. So we're looking very much forward to the rest of the day. Minister, I welcome you once again, and I will stop here for now.
Pillar and the main strategic partners in Africa. It's a big country, it's a huge country, and of course, to start my tour from this wonderful country, this is reflecting how important is, of course, your great country. For this great country, especially in the area of development and in fighting terrorism, during his tenure as president of this great nation. Allow me also to convey best greetings, and I have a written message from President Sisi to his brother, His Excellency President Bola Ahmed Timbo. As you recall, we had a wonderful meeting between the two leaders in Rio last year on the side of the G20 meeting in Rio de Janeiro, and we are fully committed to work with you in order, as you correctly mentioned, to implement the political will and the instructions of our two leaders in order to further enhance and deepening our relationship. This relationship is very solid. It's based on a very, very solid foundations of history, of historical, religious, cultural attachments between our two great nations. And that's why I'm here upon instructions from President Sisi to give more push for enhancing our cooperation, especially bilateral. We have an excellent political relationship, but we need to translate it into a more robust economic and trade and investment relationship. Also consultations between the two biggest nations in Africa, Nigeria and Egypt, of course, to talk about different regional issues. This is extremely important, as well as global issues, because we are two super regional powers in our continent, and of course we have say on different African issues, but as well as global issues. As for our bilateral, I was delighted to receive you, dear brother, in January this year, and it was a remarkable visit by you and your accompanying delegation. We convened the third session of our joint committee, and of course we announced it together, the elevation of our relationship into strategic and comprehensive partnership, and that's reflect the political will in the two countries to further deepening and enhancing our relationship. Of course, my dear brother, as you correctly mentioned, I am accompanied with huge delegation representing private sector in Egypt, governmental entities as well, in all sectors, in different sectors, in infrastructure, in agriculture, in food security, in industry, in minerals, in oil and gas, in pharmaceutical products, because this is a giant sector in our cooperation, and we need to do more and more for the mutual benefits of our two great nations and our two great peoples. We are fully committed to work with you to enhance our relationship. There is a desire by the Egyptian companies to stay here and to invest here, of course, and to do business in different sectors, and we are delighted to participate in the realization of the modernization vision by His Excellency the President, and we are fully committed to work with you. Also, of course, the role of Al-Azhar al-Sharif is very important, and the Grand Imam of Al-Azhar asked me to convey his best regards to you and to His Excellency the President, and his commitment to double the scholarships for our brothers and sisters in Nigeria to study in Al-Azhar University and in Al-Azhar al-Sharif. But also we will be delighted to increase the numbers of the students who are studying in the different Egyptian universities. The area of countering terrorism is of great importance for Egypt and for Nigeria, and of course our cooperation, our exchange of best practices is very, very important, especially that I believe that Nigeria and Egypt, they managed to achieve a great deal of success in fighting terrorism by applying this comprehensive approach in dealing with this phenomena, not only focusing on security aspects, but also on fighting extremist ideology, extremist ideas, by providing training for young preachers, young imams, as well as addressing socio-economic development in order to deal with the roots of the problem. And as I mentioned, our two great nations achieved a lot, and a lot of successful stories in fighting terrorism in back home in Egypt, and here on our second country, Nigeria. So we have to do more. Last year we imported a lot of shipments of natural gas, and we will continue to do so. I mean, we are happy that a very close and friendly country like Nigeria is, of course, a source of energy supply and energy security to Egypt, and we will continue to do so. We have companies also are ready to invest here in exploration, in of course doing even refineries, and they are standing ready for that. Also, we have now 17 flights weekly between Cairo and Lagos, Abuja, and Kano, and we are standing ready to double the 17 flights in order to increase tourism between our two countries, business as well as investment opportunities. We will do more in water management, of course, which is an important sector for Nigeria and for Egypt. And we have to implement what we signed in 2024, this MOU on water management, and of course agriculture. As I mentioned, this is, I believe, the most important sector also in our cooperation. We have to help each other in areas of food security, and in Egypt and in Nigeria as well. And we have the business community, and we are very delighted that you are organizing a business forum to have more matchmaking between our two private sectors in different areas in order to do more. Again, I am very delighted to be here in my second home, my second country, Nigeria, and I am confident that through our communication, through the exchange of our visits, we will be able to fulfill the will of our two leaders to further enhance our cooperation. Again, thank you so much, my dear brother, for the warm reception, and we will do everything possible in our hands in order to elevate this relationship to the strategic level in order to meet the aspirations and the expectations of our two great peoples. Thank you so much, my dear brother. Country for supporting the African Union candidate for the post of Director General of UNESCO, His Excellency Dr. Khalid Al-Anani, the former Minister of Tourism and Antiquities. He is the most able candidate for this very senior post, and we are very grateful for your support, and he's fully committed to work with you and of course to address the concern of Nigeria in areas such as education, culture, and of course upgrading your museums, and to attach more importance to the cultural and the educational and scientific aspects here in a great country like Nigeria. If you would like to say a few words quickly.
Just to thank His Excellency for in this office. You very kindly received me last year in March 2024. Since then, I have been since the beginning of the campaign to 61 countries. And when His Excellency called me that he was coming to Nigeria, I was very keen to come with him to express my gratitude, my thanks, and to continue listening to your aspirations, how we can work together. You spoke about tackling root causes of problem of discrimination, of terrorism. I think that the most efficient arm will be education, science, culture, reliable information, and free information. So I'll be very glad to work with a great country, great nation, great people like Nigeria. Thank you again, Your Excellency, for the warm welcome and for the support. Thank you.